Ferrari crisis, new pilots, stocks down, and no good results at all during this year. Let's break down all the details now. And while you are here, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Lift and coast has become a major problem for Ferrari this season. With only 5 podiums, all of them by Charles Leclerc, the team couldn't get its upgrades to work, and the drivers had to back off, lighting well before the corners to improve cooling for the car and the braking system. Ferrari admitted it even overmanaged the braking system and the pace in Singapore because of those temperatures issues, forcing Leclerc to run lift and coast from the start of the race, just like Hamilton. But at the end, since Hamilton was putting some pressure to get an improvement on his pace, he had the brake failure. The team acknowledged that being overly protectional with the car, especially in dirty air on a demanding track like Singapore, limited the air ability to attack just a few laps and cost significant time, even allowing Antonelli to pass Leclerc. He promised to fix the problem after the race, where the pace was competitive in clean air, but unstable overall. That's another promise from Ferrari, and in 2025, those promises have not been kept. Now the big news and impact. Leclerc's manager, Nicolas Todt, warned that the Monegasque needs a winning car to fight for the title. A clear message to Ferrari that if they can't provide it, he will look elsewhere. He also said 2026 and 2027 will be crucial years for deciding the driver's future if competitiveness doesn't arrive. And this intersects with a driver market that's about to heat up, where many will check teams' levels before renewing or switching at the start of 2026. This lines up what we've discussed in a previous video. Leclerc is very disappointed at Ferrari, and as much as he loves the team, he's considering leaving. Both Hamilton and Leclerc potentially leaves in 2027. So Leclerc's manager is putting something serious on the table. It's serious for Ferrari if you think about it, because they are losing such a great driver like Leclerc due to their team all incompetence. And that's a huge blow for them. But there is a counterpoint to that story. Sources are always in the description below. According to what's being reported, Leclerc still has interest in staying with Ferrari in 2026. That doesn't necessarily conflict with the other story, because the other one concerned 2027 onward. So Leclerc still wants to evaluate Ferrari and see how it looks next year on the new regulations. In other words, on one hand, we have Leclerc, our manager, saying he's watching the market, and on the other, we have reports that he still has hope in Ferrari. The truth is, both things can be true at once. He can hope that the new regulation helps Ferrari, but if they don't, he's gone. Waiting to see what Leclerc does is a big decision, and the driver market could get pretty wild, with a possible Verstappen exit from Red Bull, a possible Leclerc exit from Ferrari, Hamilton and Alonso also potentially retiring at the end of 2026, not racing 2027. The driver market could gain a very important chapter in the next few years. Considering this situation, Ferrari would be interested in signing Gabriel Bortoleto from 2027 onward, which is when Hamilton, for example, would be out of contract. According to Blake in Switzerland, the Brazilian is indeed one of the options. And another name on that list is Oscar Piastri. Mark Webber, Piastri's manager, said publicly that Ferrari is an option they'd consider. So there are definitely conversations, and Webber's handling of Oscar has been no nonsense. Piastri is a driver on a clear upward curve. There is also reports that McLaren doesn't want to keep Piastri and Norris together on a long term. So Bortoleto and Piastri could be options if Leclerc and Hamilton both leave at the end of 2026. It's been a turbulent week for Ferrari. The Italian press is portraying that both John Newcomb and Benedetto Vigna, Ferrari's chairman and CEO, is being disinterested in the Formula One program. Because of that, the team is said to be left without a clear plan and without concrete upgrades for the Formula One car. In what feels like a response to those accusations, Icahn and Vigna went public saying they are aligned and want to return Ferrari to its glory days. Of course, words alone don't change everything. We need to see Ferrari's actions over the next years, mainly next year. Beyond that, Ferrari announced the first full electric car, and the stock fell around 15% in a single day, wiping out roughly 2 years of gains. What do you think about all this? Leave your opinion in the comments and subscribe to the channel to follow more stories like this. See you in the next video.